the dancing today is too specific, that you can't even just rely on things like that. How many girls here have been screamed at for being too heavy? Hands up! The lecture is It Takes Two, meaning we're talking about partnering. And I would probably do this mostly through rumba and at least give you some movements and step combinations to more clearly understand the various details that we will be talking about. That there is two body weights that will communicate together through movement. And there's a leading factor and a following factor. The leading factor has to have the knowledge for two people. Because not only with, and now I say he, need to know his own steps, actions, and so forth, but he also needs to know the steps and actions of the woman. And he also needs to know when opposing directions need to be timed so that they are in harmony, not only with the music, but with the body language of two people. Now, if we take a dance like rumba, I think it would be the easiest way to understand it if we just say we're going to consider the rumba walking to be what we're talking about today. Now, I am a strong believer that the progression of a walk forward in rumba, and if we talk about the movement of the spine, which is your body weight, you will be in motion. So from the standing foot, when you leave it, you are now somewhere over the ball of foot of that foot. And the next step is being taken, and I say taken because it catches a body weight, and that body weight is somewhere near the heel of the new foot. Then your spine continues to travel on its own. It doesn't have to be pushed by a foot. It travels on its own to the center of your foot, where you are in total solo balance, and then it goes on to the ball of foot. So in theory, it is a transition where the spine moves on its own without any foot push, and it goes through 3 stages of your foot and 3 stages on the new foot. So if we have a thing like counting a count of 2, you all know this. So we basically said 2 and 3 and Those indications are for your spine. And I do feel many people talk about move your center. Center for me is vague. Spine is very clear for me. So if I can first of all now just take your right arm and place it at the lower part of your spine where it's natural that it arrives. Close your feet And I'm going to ask you to stand in the center of your foot. But you stand there because that point is at the center of your foot. Now if I say to you, move the spine to your heel, you go there on your own. Move it now to ball of foot, right? Easily done, and then back to your center. So if, for example, the transition of this says, as I go past ball of foot, and then on to the next, the spine travels that way, and even when I catch it, I don't stop it. It actually moves on to my center by itself. It doesn't have any additional foot or leg help. Now, if you now take, especially for the men here, come here a little bit, for the men. So, if I am going to, so just stand now in a forward walk. That's it. Now, I would now like to move her to come forward. Move her, right? Or if I send her back, I have used what we call a physical lead. For a lot of you ladies, is that when you dance, your back facing, okay, dance me back. So you're coming here, you're waiting, right, send me, and then I'm coming here, and there's a hook. And now, as I said, return, and you're all like this. Now, this step is called a replace, not a walk. So, I only replace my weight. The heel goes down first. And he brings me forward. Okay, posare la braccia. And when I get to the point of self-traveling, yes, am I then through to the next? When I said it's not a walk, a replace is basically only a rocking action. A rocking action. Now, this back foot is not treated the same as a walk when it is before it's a free foot. This is just a foot that maintains tone, gets high at the moment of passage, and then you have a walk on the next step. Okay? Understood? Yes? So, for example now, can I, in this physical lead situation, the difference between people saying, oh, I thought I should never use my arms and my hands. It should all come from the body. Well, those days are gone. The dancing today is too specific that you can't even just rely on things like that. But what I do want to say is that when you start connecting and you now dance a parallel movement together, sure, here the arm and the body works at the same time. In the next sending off, where the man goes into a checked forward walk, the actual rotation moment is the push send moment for the man to the lady. And then once she arrives, depending on how his energy has been, you take the hook. Okay? Can you try and just do that one time? Stand and do a 4-1 in the regular open basic. And when I count 1 and up, input ascending action in your left arm, gentlemen. So we start again. 2 and 3, go now. And 4 and 1 and send. 2. Yes, quite good. One more time. And 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and up 2. Okay? Now, in that 2, where you've now stopped her and the man's elbow is braced, the lady isn't finished. So now we use what we call allowing lead to extend and let the woman, yes, do that one more time. Yes, so she can finish her body action in the hip and get more extreme in the look. Now, how many of the guys here will complain that she would be too heavy at that time? How many girls here have been screamed at for being too heavy? Hands up! Oh, it's like this? Okay, well then, I have 50 years experience in this, I know there's a lot of it. Okay? And the fact that the man sort of says, oh, it's too heavy, she's a bloody cow, you know? My teacher, which was Walter Laird, he said, if a man complains that the woman is heavy, his timing is bloody awful. Right. So it's basically if you send something at the wrong timing and it's too strong and you can't cope, and you get the blame on her. Right. So try again. So when you send some two, for God's sake, try and know how much energy you send. And if it's more than you can deal with, use your brain. Okay? One more time. With partnering and knowledge of partnering, the man can decide how beautiful the woman can look. 2 and the 3 and the 4 and 1 and 2, 3, overbalance, send her back again. Yes, and 4. Okay.